Hi, this is Gene Fairbrother, and I want to welcome you to another business strategy webinar from the National Association for the Self-Employed. Today's webinar, we're going to cover some tips on finding and keeping good employees. Things like determining employee needs, enticing good applicants, hiring the best candidate for the job, and most important, keeping your employees productive. Now, I want to start out by saying that regardless of whether you've already got employees or whether this is going to be your first employee, the first step in the hiring process is to look at the economics. The most critical rule in the hiring process is that there is only one reason to hire an employee. That person has to generate more in profits than they cost you in expenses. You don't want to get into a situation where you're spending $100 to create $70 in profit. That's not the basis of good business. So in taking a look at those economics, before you start advertising, before you start developing any kind of a job description, let's take a look at the money side of it. How is hiring an employee going to affect your overall net profits? This goes back to what I just said. The only purpose to hire an employee is to create more in profits than you spend on the expense side. In taking a look, particularly if you already have employees, can that workload that you're trying to fill that position for be distributed to other employees? Can you redefine the job descriptions and the requirements of other employees to incorporate what you're looking to hire for, those tasks that you need to have done that you think that you need to hire an employee for? Is the need that you have long-term, or is it just something to get you through the next few weeks or a couple of months? Make sure you understand whether you really need somebody over a couple of years period of time or just a couple of weeks. Can existing employees go on limited overtime to take up the workload? Now, I know nobody likes to pay overtime, but sometimes the additional overtime expense is less than going through the process to hire an employee and keeping somebody who's not going to be productive, who's not going to create that larger amount of revenue or savings to your bottom line. Can a temporary employee fill in? Again, if you only need somebody for a few weeks or a couple of months, paying that higher dollar rate for a temporary employee is going to be better than even taking on somebody for a limited period of time in that employee position versus a temporary position. Another item to take a look at is the employee necessary because you've got an increase in business, or has the business become less efficient? Take a good look at your business and understand why you need somebody else in that position. And a good way to help you evaluate that is, how does your existing staffing compare to other businesses? Are you doing the same job with less employees, more employees, or is everybody pretty much on an even keel? All right, so let's say that you've taken a look at all the economics and you come up with the answer that we need an employee. We need to find somebody who belongs to us and is going to be part of our company. Now, the next step is to find those candidates to fill the position. Where are you going to look? Obviously, that's going to be the first place. Where are you going to find the candidates to interview that are going to be best fitted for your business and the position you want to fill? Obviously, you're going to advertise or think about advertising in local news publications or online. Of course, the internet has become a big area to find employees and for employees to find work, but it's a double-edged sword. You have to be careful, because if you put a job position out on the internet, you're likely to get 100 resumes and half of those are from people who don't even qualify for the position. So just like in marketing, look at targeting where you're going to be looking for that particular individual that you want to hire for your business. Example, use your current employees, if you have employees, in the search. Like people spend time together. So if you've got a very good employee, very likely the people that they know with, the people that they hang out with, are probably going to be people that are just like them. They have similar attributes. So good employees know other people that are probably going to make good employees. You may even want to consider paying bonuses. It's very common for a business to say, if you bring me an individual that I end up hiring, I'm going to give you a $100 bonus. It's a lot cheaper than hiring another service to find them or going through the process of not finding the right person in the first place. Business associates. If you belong to a chamber of commerce or a small business group or even a social group, let them know that you're looking for somebody. They may have a great applicant that they didn't have a position for that they would be happy to give you their information on. Contact your friends and family who might know people who could fill the position. Talk to your local college placement offices. Consider a temporary agency instead of hiring right off the bat. This has gotten fairly popular over the last number of years, that you go to a temporary service, you tell them the qualifications that you want, they send you people out. Now, yeah, it's going to cost you a few extra dollars up front, but it's going to give you an opportunity to test different people in those positions. Remember, and particularly in this day and age, a lot of people, a lot of good people are looking for jobs, and they're going to temporary agencies to fill in until they can find that right job. Now, when you find the person that you really want to work for you, you can go to the temporary agency and you can tell them that you want to buy out the contract for that particular individual. You don't have the commitment of having an employee, but you have the opportunity to test drive a few employees before you find that right person. So let's say that you've got the resumes and applications, the interviewing process is coming. The next stage is to prepare yourself to talk to potential and prospective individuals who you might think that you want to hire. First option, first item, is you have to have a well-developed job description. You have to know what you're hiring for, and you have to be able to demonstrate to the interviewee what you're looking for in job expertise. And that ties in with the next item, which is have a standard list of questions to ask every interviewee. You want to be able to have an apples-to-apples evaluation of the people that you talk to. That means asking everybody basically the same questions. Now, you might veer off in a different direction in a few places, but you have to have that standardization. Next item is very important, and that is to let the interviewee do 75% of the talking. In so many interviews, particularly with small business owners or people who are not expertise in the interviewing process, they'll spend 3/4 of the time telling the individual about the business, the history of the business, how great it is to work there, what great products and services they provide. That's not the purpose of this meeting. Your responsibility is to listen to what that potential employee has to say about going to work for your business. Conduct at least 2 interviews before making a decision, and you may even go 3 or 4 interviews. That first interview is nothing more than to determine if you want to continue talking to that individual. You've got 50 people that you're talking to. You want to get that down to 10 people that you really want to interview about the job. And that's going to take at least 2 to 3 interviews. Let the interviewee spend some time on the job. Have them come in, those that you think might fill the position, have them come in for a half an hour to spend with the other employees or in the position that they're going to be hired for. Let them find out if they like the atmosphere. Gives you a chance to find out if you like them on the job. Half an hour working in that position can show you an awful lot about an individual's capabilities. And if you do that, you also have the opportunity to get some input from your existing employees. How is this individual going to fit in with the rest of the organization? And finally, get at least 3 job references on the final candidates. I understand that a lot of time this is very difficult to do because previous employers don't want to give you information. They're afraid of getting sued by an ex-employee, but you have to make the effort to get the information on somebody's past experience. It doesn't mean a thing what their aunt or uncles think about them or what their high school teacher thinks of them. You don't care about that. This is not a social activity. You want to know what they were like in their past employment. And above all, through all of this process, I want to emphasize that you need to take your time. Don't let yourself get into hiring a warm body. If you get rushed, you're just going to hire the wrong person. Then after a few months of absolute misery, you're going to have to go through the whole hiring process again. So take your time. Now, let's say that you've gone through all of the blood, sweat, and tears, and you have just absolutely found that great employee. They're going to fit in well. They're going to fit in with the rest of your staff, and you are really happy to have them on board. Well, your job is half over. Finding that individual, finding that great employee is just part of the total scheme of things. Now, you have to keep them. You have to motivate them. You have to develop that individual to create more profits for your business. Folks, I want to tell you that the #1 cause for all employee problems comes down to one thing: communications. In my opinion, 80% of all problems that occur between employees and management can be attributed to poor communications. And that starts with having the employees understand what their jobs are, what the company is, and the communication process to motivating employees and good communications begins with a written company policy manual. I know that many of you think that employee manuals and company policy manuals, oh, they're just for the big guys. We only have 1 or 2 or 3 employees. We don't need to get all that complicated. I'm here to tell you, you do. You have to have something that's going to communicate to your employees what they should expect from the business, what you should expect from them, what the rules are. Example, what are the salary and wage policies? How about holidays, vacations? Simple things like their meal breaks, company rules, performance reviews, just all kinds of things that they need to understand. And it's just not that company policy manual. It's everything that goes with that first 30 days that an employee is on the job. Because if they're not given the time and given the guidance to fit into the total organization during that first 30 days, that's what's going to establish how they're going to react all the time they're with you, with the business, with your customers. Everything becomes critical in that first 30 days. So sitting down and taking the time to develop that company policy manual, to give them the proper training and introduction to your business is absolutely critical. Now, I just want to mention one thing on the company policy manual. They're not that difficult. Go online, do a search for employee handbooks, and you'll find all kinds of software that you can develop what your company policy and employee handbooks are going to be. And it's really not that difficult, nor is it expensive. So now you've got them, and the next part that we're going to take a look at is going to be the benefit package. I often get asked a question, is a good benefit package going to promote the chances that I'm going to get better employees? Well, the answer to that is yes, it is. There's no question. The other side of that is a regular or a base foundational benefit package going to stop you from getting good employees? No, it's not. There's a whole lot more involved, but a good benefit program is going to give you the opportunity to find and keep better employees. And I break it down into two areas. There's the very basic benefits. These are paid holidays and paid leave time. This is something that every business should offer their employees. As far as the holidays go, you're looking at generally six paid holidays a year. You're looking at New Year's Day, at Memorial Day, the 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Those are the basics. But you can put in whatever you want. You can increase it, you can decrease it, do whatever you want. The paid leave time, that deals with vacation time, sick time, personal leave, those types of paid days off. Now, I like to group everything into paid leave time. I don't like the separation between, let's say, vacation time and sick day. I give employees 2 weeks a year after the first year, 2 weeks of personal paid leave time. They can use it for sick days. They can use it for the vacation time. They can use it for funeral leave, however they want to use it. But it saves a lot of administration and aggravation of people trying to specifically note what days they have coming, and at the end of the year somebody taking an extra 3 days off because they've got 3 days of sick time coming and they just don't show up. The second category are the advanced benefits. If your budget allows, if you have the money in the business to do it, start looking at incentive and bonus programs, insurances like health, dental, and life, retirement plans, additional leave time like funeral and jury duty. Look to expand what you provide your employees as remuneration. Now, regardless of how long an employee is with you, regardless of the amount that you pay them, the benefits, it's going to take an ongoing effort for you to keep an employee loyal and productive. And it really comes down to the basics in the workplaces. You know, wages and benefits are important, but the workplace atmosphere is critical to finding and keeping good employees. Basic management styles is so important that you develop as a business owner and as a business manager to keep your employees producing that profit that is greater than their expense. You want to make employees feel important. They're critical, absolutely critical. They're as critical to your business as your customers are, because your employees are going to determine or help determine those customers coming back again and again and again. And if that employee doesn't and feel important about your business, they're not going to do a good job. Again, on communications, have regular staff meetings. You want to talk to your employees. You want to let them know what's going on in the business. You want to let them know what you expect of them, and you want to listen to what they have to say. They're talking to your customers day in and day out. They hear more and know more of what the needs and wants of your customers are than you do in most situations. So listen to what they have to say. Review employees' performance at least every 6 months. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to have to give them a raise, but let them know how good they're doing in the job. Let them know where they can make improvements in the job. Help them help your business. Listen to employees. Don't try to talk over your employees. Sit back and listen to what they have to say. As I mentioned a couple of moments ago, they know more about what's going on in your business than you do. So it's important that you take the time to help them tell you how to make more money in your business. Employee recognition programs. This goes back to the first one, making employees feel important. But recognize your employees. This may be Employee of the Month program. It may be special rewards. It may be having a special bonus program every quarter to motivate employees to do more or to provide better customer satisfaction. But have programs in place that are going to recognize good employees. Involve your employees in goal settings. You know, when you're putting together a budget or when you're putting together your projections for the next year, get your employees involved. There's nothing that is going to motivate an employee more to accomplish a goal than them having something to say about what that goal is, rather than the boss coming out and saying, okay, folks, we need an increase of 20% business in this next quarter, and I expect you guys to get out and do it. That's not going to work. That's not motivating employees. You need them to commit to the goals. You need them to help you establish those goals. The last one, it's a little bit touchy, but it's important that you understand. Get rid of problem employees. If you have somebody who isn't benefiting your business, who's upsetting your customers, who is not working as a team member, get rid of them. They're not only dragging down your business and costing you money, they're affecting the entire performance of all the rest of the employees that you have. Hiring and managing employees is one of the most difficult parts of running a business. Trying to manage employees without a good plan of action is nothing more than a problem waiting to happen. Now, while it's not possible for us to include all the aspects of managing your employees in this webinar, we tried to provide some basic settings, some basic information, and some basic guidelines that are going to help you find, keep, and motivate the best employees that you have, the best employees you can find, the best employees that you can seek out and have come make your business more profitable. Our goal in providing this information and these business webinars is to give you, the NASE members, more tools to help you navigate the challenges of running a business. So keep in mind that the NASE has a team of business experts, professional business consultants, and tax people. They're available at your beck and call. All you have to do is visit the NASE website at www.nase.org, and that'll give you information on how to contact a business professional that can help you with your business, that can look over your shoulder and give you some personal attention. So from all of us at the NASE, take care, and we'll look forward to you joining us in our future business webinars. Have a great day.